But yeah, hello, welcome everybody. It's Bossbound All Round 26. I'm your host, Goron1988, and I am here with.
It is I, Rogel Dawn.
Okay. Do you go by any other names?
No.
No, of course you don't. Good, good. Well then, I'm just trying to sort out everything here. But yeah, okay then. Boss Battle Round 26 is between Morpher and Bongo Bongo, really. So that's a crazy one. What do you think, Kat?
Like, I'm happy that it happens right now instead of happening like way earlier in the lineup.
Or even way later. Imagine having this one as the last one, really. You know. So
Like,
yeah.
if this would have been the very last one, I would have found it fitting. But if it would have been like way early, I would have said it too soon.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, so right at the right place. But yeah, let's go over the stats. Morpher, Health D, Power F, Intelligence F, Mobility D, Aqua Affinity B. I mean, the Aqua Affinity is a good stat, but otherwise that health and power does fail Morpher as well as that low intelligence. But you know, we'll just have to see, won't we?
Indeed.
Okay. And Bongo Bongo, Health A, Power B, Intelligence B, Mobility B, Dark Affinity A, Invisibility A. Just brilliant stats all across the board, really, for Bongo Bongo here. Hmm.
I do agree.
Good, good. Well, we'll sort this one out now. Who wants to be Bongo Bongo? I guess you want to be Cat, or
I have very much been typecasted with the dog affinity, so
yeah, definitely. So if that's the case, I'll be Morpher. And I was thinking about the room itself. Normally we do half and half, but I don't think the room would matter too much. So would you mind there being a big pool of liquid inside the bongo? Well, let's say the bongo has a swimming pool.
like I find that being hard to go by, but it could work in essence. But it's very hard to animate. Let's just say.
Okay, fair enough. Okay then. Yeah, you have an absolute point there, Kat. So let's try to work this out. Okay. Well, the bongos should be in the middle. The sides, I mean, the sides for bongo bongo should be bongo bongo sides, but everything else should be Morpher's room then, theoretically. So the bongo should be instead of sort of like the middle platform, and the room being a bit bigger for Morpher, giving those the water, um, those water points basically there, just all around the bongo itself. Then so bongo, then water temple, and then the walls themselves would be the darkness that bongo bongo, is normally in, as well as the ceiling. Are we happy with that? Does that make more
Yeah,
sense?
that works. That works.
Okay, good. Okay then, if that's the case, discuss. We'll discuss who wins this. Privately. So let's go to that, and let's see if there's any discrepancies. There may be discrepancies here. But but I think we're in general consensus, aren't we, Kat?
Yeah, there is an exact reason why I put it as that exact number.
Well, you'll have to say after this. But for now, you know, basically, what happens is the two worlds merge, and basically part of the water temple merges into Bongo Bongo's world, and Bongo Bongo sees a pool of water underneath the bongo, as well as that pool of water. The water stretches out far past the bongo, and there are a few small platforms in this water. And then the ledges themselves are water temple, but like I said, the walls in the top are going to be the shadow temple, Bongo Bongo's world. So the two worlds merge, and Morpha doesn't really notice that much. Notices that there's something in the middle of the of their territory, but Bongo Bongo definitely sees that Morpha is there, and knows that it's some form of enemy to it, I would guess, and so therefore you would have the first action as Bongo Bongo.
Well, Bongo Bongo, seeing this new environment, just goes jelly bean, picks up Morpha.
Okay. Morpha would then try to struggle in Bongo Bongo's hands. By the way, Bongo Bongo would receive slight damage from that because it is picking up Morpha inside the destructive jelly surrounding it effectively, but like I said, it's probably like a paper scratch effectively. But yeah. So what does Bongo Bongo do?
Well, Bongo Bongo, seeing that this jelly bean might be a tad spicy, starts to bongo with it.
Okay. And well, I have to ask, how harsh does Bongo Bongo with the Morpha? Because this does change things. It does.
I would see Bongo Bongo bongoing at the least hard enough that Morpha would theoretically fly up and down on the bongo.
Okay, if we're going for that hard enough, Morpha is bouncing up and down. Morpha goes to minor damage after this interaction. Morpha is still in the air, keeping on bongoing. Morpha is trying to summon water, but the water can't make it close enough to it. Yeah, it's back on you. It's Bongo Bongo.
Well, Bongo Bongo, seeing that the water is doing something on the sidelines, Bongo intensifies.
Okay, Morpha's now on moderate damage. Moderate to severe. Does Bongo Bongo want to do anything else, Cat?
I
don't
would
know.
see that the rhythm would go even more faster and faster.
Okay. Well, sadly, Morpha has perished. I'm calling it now, and our winner is, well, Bongo Bongo. Yeah. So, there really wasn't much to say about this match. Bongo Bongo's stats are brilliant all round, whilst Morpha's are quite low. Morpha doesn't really have the intelligence to use that water affinity, as we've said before. What were your thoughts on this?
Yeah, this was one of the most clearest fights from the outset, like out of
Yeah.
all fights in the entire thing. But going to the discussion before the fight, we had on the back screen of the win percentage,
Yeah.
and this is where it comes into play. Goran wrote down 100% Bongo Bongo wins. Meanwhile, I replied I would go to 500%.
Yes, you did.
And the reason is I would see that Morpha would need to be approximately 5 times larger in order to have any effect on the win percentage.
Mm. Yeah, you have a point there. I mean, when you look at the discrepancy in stats, like Morpha is 2 tiers below Bongo Bongo, at a minimum. Like you give Morpha health B, power C, intelligence C, mobility B, and aqua affinity S, you might have a battle. You might. Like it could even be 3 tiers. So, and yeah, if Morpha was 5 times bigger, it might have definitely helped. But I think it would need to be 1,000% if we're dealing with that. Like, you know, um, it was literally, and that's why I put it in there. Literally was just a child playing with putty.
Yep,
That was this
like
boss battle.
that what it is. But from my point of view, I would see that the end results would be the same if we just increase the Morpha size, but there would be a fight at least.
Yeah, true. There would be a fight if you increase morpho size by about 5. That is true. Yeah, what else am I thinking? It is what is funny though is that these bosses are back to back and yet there's no contest. The way we've put the stats, it makes it seem as though Morpha has been one of the spiritual stone dungeons and Bongo Bongo is an endgame boss. But they're so close in temples and yet Bongo Bongo is just so much better. And we did really think about this, cat. Like, I'm just trying to go back to that because I'm just trying to think here. Like, there was no way that we couldn't say that Bongo Bongo wasn't as healthy as he was, wasn't as powerful as he was, wasn't as intelligent or as mobile as he was because we saw his mobility, firsthand. We've noted about his power because he hits like a truck and he takes a lot of hits and he seems somewhat intelligent. So there's no way we could even like think about having Bongo Bongo less and Morpha. I mean, we've seen Morpha in action and honestly there's no way we could have increased Morpha at all either. So I'm just trying to think. Like
Yeah, like I wouldn't go far in war wise because Bongo Bongo has so much war wise buffing his power and abilities.
yeah.
Meanwhile, Morpha has nothing. But I would also go into consideration of the gameplay design aspect because it
Yeah.
really seems that the designers knew that Morpha is not gonna be like among the other bosses, so it hit it equal
Yeah,
as
yeah.
they gave Morpha's temple the hardest mini boss in the entire series, percentage wise.
Well, and minor. Okay, spoiler alert, because I haven't even fully played that game. But so put your ears away now because I'm gonna not be talking about Ocarina of Time. But well, Dark Link was the boss of the second game. That's how big Dark Link was looked at in that. And Dark Link is one of the hardest bosses is the main boss of that game and is, of course, a formidable mini boss in this. It's the interesting thing of that's why we put Dark Link into all of this. But at the same time, Dark Link doesn't have as many problems as Morpha, but has the problem of not being able to be original enough. And it's been that creativity that's been bad for that boss. Although I know I'm going tangentially, Kat, so you can put me back on track.
So the thing why I said percentage wise is I don't know how the stats changed, but the last time I saw statistics which shown a player, like how many percentage of players died to a boss in Ocarina of Time at least once. Dark Link was the highest.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, it's well, yeah, that's a completely different situation, but it's because people, myself included, we didn't think laterally with regards to that fight, and that's why that fight was so interesting, really. But yeah, um, that makes a ton of sense. But yeah, our winner here is Bongo Bongo. And going back to stats on Morph and Bongo Bongo, you can sort of see why on both of them. I think we just close this up, don't we? There's not much more to
Indeed.
say. So yeah, that is Morph versus Bongo Bongo. And this is, well, round 26. For this video itself, myself, I'm saying goodbye. And what are your last words, Kat?
Gold, please.